I want to talk a little bit about the price breakdown for our barn home because it's definitely one of the most commonly asked questions that we get. So we bought our land back in 2022, and then we put in our driveway, our electric, and then a water meter. We have a temporary water line that we'll redo after we kind of get everything figured out with the actual house itself. So those are the core staples that we started with under a land loan. So we just converted it to a construction loan. So we've got 12 months on that, and the actual build part we are estimating is going to be around $200,000. That is with someone doing site prep for us, someone pouring the slab, someone doing the shell, and then someone doing the actual framing on the inside, things that we just don't have as much experience with. So that is where the bulk of the money is going to go. And then figuring out HVAC, I think was definitely one of our other big costs. Those were the big ones. So we are planning, and what we've budgeted for and priced out is right around that $200,000. So the house portion itself should be around that. And then at the end, of course, we'll convert to a mortgage. We initially talked to a builder. We're like, okay, what would it be if you did the entire thing for us? They quoted us over $450,000 for them to do just the build itself. So that would have put us well over $600,000 with our land. It just wasn't in our budget. So then we went and talked to someone else, and they were going to do, basically they priced out the same thing. They priced out the full build, but without doing the upstairs, it would have been like $350,000. But for us, we really wanted to have those extra rooms. We've already done a house where we had basically just had one room. So we were like, no, we really need those 3 bedrooms. So that wasn't going to work for us. So that's kind of how we landed on this approach, where we have the assistance in the beginning and then kind of turn it over to ourselves to do the rest of it. But it is, everybody has their own budget. For us, that was just not $600,000 versus like taking over $250,000 off of that, doing it ourselves. Just a much more achievable place for us. Because we have so many materials from the barn that we just took down, we are hoping that the number comes in a little bit lower than that, honestly. My goal is to get our mortgage as low as possible, but also get everything that we need and or want in the process. I didn't want to build something that was like totally builder grade and then have to go back in and put all the character in it. So I'm kind of excited to do the DIY approach because that means we have a little bit more control over charm and like all the fun stuff, and we don't have to worry about just getting into something and then figuring it out later. There will probably be aspects to the build where we do have to do some things later on, but that's kind of where we approached it from. Justin has a lot of skills. He knows a lot of things. I know design, kind of. I know what I like, I should say. And I've learned some skills. I was a theater major. I did shop class. I've been around a lot of people that, know things throughout my life. So between the two of us and a lot of our family, we're hoping that this is just one of the most exciting things we ever do.